Good morning, good morning. Happy Tuesday. Hope everyone's having a great morning and a great trading session so far. Good morning, Amelia. How are you this morning? I am exhausted, but hopefully, maybe later today, I'll find out what sleep is. Maybe. Good morning. How was the session yesterday? I didn't I opened my charts just so I could journal the session so I could get more trade examples, but I didn't like actually actively look at the charts at all. I know it was pretty volatile because there was like almost 250 reversal bars in that short hour time span. So I know it was pretty violent. Let's get this together over here. All right, clear to trade. News on the session. We have low impact news at 9 a.m. and that's it. I know, right? Too busy with work. I feel it. I feel it. Understood. Understood. Oh, man. Trying to make sure my data is cool because, what was that? Everything everything but Apex lost connection around 8:18 this morning. I still have my charts open. Everything looked like it reconnected except my personal account, which is fine. But hopefully it's all good. What? The 5-minute ATR was 100 again yesterday? That's crazy. Insane. It's crazy because I can't even imagine what the I can't imagine what the 20 tick chart looks like. It's like I went to a 24 just for me to still feel like, oh my God, is this even a big enough Renko size? Because of the way the market's moving. It's just crazy. I look tired. I am Applejacks. I'm very tired. So just to give you guys a rundown of what my sleep looked like. First of all, last week there was like I think Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday night I only had like maybe 3 hours of sleep each. Friday night I go to sleep at a whatever time. It doesn't really matter because I sleep into Saturday just fine. Well, Saturday night going into Sunday, I did not get very much sleep at all. And then found out that a bunch of my family members were going to be over to celebrate my grandma's birthday. So I'm like, okay. So Sunday night, I legit could not sleep. I laid down at 1:30 in the morning. I did not go to sleep until after 5:30. So I was like, you know what? I'm exhausted. I already was exhausted going into the weekend. I'm still exhausted. So I'm just going to turn my charts on because all right, so I remember I was telling you guys Friday, like, okay, I'm gonna just journal today's whole session so I can get some more live examples as far as order flow goes, whatever. Well, I ended up accidentally I was trying to put my computer to sleep, but I pressed the shutdown button. Even though I said to cancel the shutdown button, all of my charts were corrupted to where, like, if I tried to move my mouse on this entry chart, like, it was barely moving. I could not click anything in any of the toolbars. Like, it was bad. So I was like, damn, like, I can't get the data out of here because I literally can't do anything, basically. So I was like, yeah, let's just gather yesterday's stuff, whatever. Well, I could not go back to sleep yesterday at all. I was trying, I couldn't. But I had it set in my mind I wasn't going to trade. I was just going to go ahead and get the data from yesterday. Hold on, I'm trying to move this thing from my back because I think it's making my back worse. So anyway, I'm like, all right, it's cool because once I get tired, I'll just go ahead and take me a nap. It's no big deal. Well, then my cousin hits me up like, hey, can you do the baby's hair tonight? Sure. So it's like my sleep time I was supposed to have some good sleep yesterday to catch up, and I couldn't because I had to do his hair. So I'm thinking they're going to bring him in the evening. Well, then my aunt calls me. She's like, hey, I have him at Chuck E. Cheese. What time do you want me to bring him? I'm like, huh? So yeah, needless to say, I did not get a chance. I mean, I did take a nap yesterday, but no. It was not the nap that I needed to, like, get myself back on track. So then I was like, well, because I took the nap that I took, I was up all night last night and did not go to bed until, I don't know, I think at like 5 something this morning. I was like, yeah, I can't, there's no way I'm going to make it to 8:30. So, and on top of that, I have to take my grandma to the eye doctor, like right after I'm done streaming. So both days that I was supposed to catch up on sleep, there is no catching up on sleep because I have to do stuff for other people. So yeah, that's the story of my life currently. I'm tired, and I'm going to be tired because I don't have a choice. Not tell him to do his own hair. I know. Well, I used to do his hair all the time, and then they wanted to do it, which was fine. I mean, that's their kid, right? But then yesterday it took me a little longer than it should have because his hair wasn't being maintained the way that I maintained it. So it just took longer than it should have. And Yeah. So I'm probably going to go a whole nother day with sleep deprivation because I'm pretty sure. Now, I've already made it up in my mind. I'm not journaling today's whole session. I'm only journaling the trades I took. I'll keep my charts open in case I want to go back and look at certain things. Like, because the thing is, I didn't even have the energy to put the trades from yesterday into my analysis sheet. Like, that's how tired I was by the time I finished this morning. And I was like doing stuff off and on or whatever, but like once I really sat down to do it, I sat down to do it. It took so long. Cause like I said, it was almost 250 different trade examples from yesterday or whatever. Yeah. So today's mission is to get those trades into the analysis sheet and I guess go from there. I don't know. My days at this point belong to other people, so once I finally have time to myself, for myself, then we'll figure something out. I don't know, but I'm annoyed to say the least. To say the least. And I'm still getting connection issues. Alright, that was Tradeify. I think it reconnected itself though. That's cool. Let me just disconnect my personal. So it's not. Alright, there we go. Okay. But yeah, I just want my days to myself. That's all. That's all I want. We're currently at the value area high. We're approaching yesterday's low. I mean high, I'm sorry. I'm gonna break even because it's probably gonna push through. I don't like how dominant that delta was. It's a little too dominant for my liking, but yeah, exactly. Way too dominant, which typically means exhaustion, which is exactly what that was. Look how far that just pushed down on the way back down. Look at that. I didn't see how dominant that delta was. I don't know if I want point of control and stuff on my chart. We'll keep it there for now. Why can't I? Oh. Oh, hell. I'm glad I just looked at this. Child. I still had the 2 contracts for TPT. That ain't supposed to be like that. So I just fixed it. Got news in about 10 minutes. Oh, you know where that thing is. What? Oh. Good morning, Diego. How are you this morning? We were just asking about you last week. Hope everything's all good with you. I hope you have a great day as well. You're back at the charts? Good. Good, good, good. Sometimes a break is needed, honey. Definitely took me a couple of breaks last week that were needed. But I should be on every day for the rest of this week, you guys. I think just the way my brain is right now, I know what I see. I'm finally quantifying it properly. Now I just got to get these last little kinks out the way, which hopefully once I put yesterday's data into my sheet, that'll help me solidify stuff. Rejecting that point of control right now. That's the one. All right. Guess I can keep a 1 minute chart up. Looks pretty nasty. You're correct. I'm sorry. Didn't take a single trade last week. I feel you. I feel you. But now you get to come back with a clear mind, clear head, fresh eyes. You'll be good to go. Oh, I gotta remember to do this stupid video before I leave. My e-commerce store took off on TikTok. So much so that like I have to do this whole verification thing. I think they started doing like sales here and there in December, if I'm not mistaken, nothing too crazy. And then last month it just went insane. I think I sold like $5,000 worth of products, and my profit was maybe like $1,040. And yeah, I had to like slow the sales down a little bit because one of the things I hate about TikTok Shop is when you first start, your settlement period is delivery of the product plus 31 days. Sir, ma'am, that's more than a billing cycle for a bank statement. So, yeah, so I had to slow stuff down a little bit. Over time, your settlement period goes down because the last time I was running my store, I had it on, like, it was basically, I got it down to 1 day because I had a really good shop health. Things were being delivered on time, stuff like that. So it was literally 1 day. You pay for the product today, I get the money in my bank account tomorrow. So it was very easy and simple to scale because the money's in my account the next day. Versus right now, I have to wait for the product to be delivered plus 31 days on top of that. That's just literal insanity. So, but yeah, I gotta do some kind of verification thing so these people can release my money. Which the majority of it won't even be released for like another week and a half or something. I don't know. Yeah, 31 days. Insane. My whole corporate career, that'd be a lot. The only 2 to 3 week break I had was when I had surgery. Listen, I used to, for probably like the last 5 years of my nursing career, I wouldn't really take off very much because I never really get sick and stuff like that. Which, by the way, I think somebody came to my house Sunday sick or something because when I woke up Monday morning, that was the other thing. I wasn't going to be able to talk that much anyway because my throat was hurting. So, honey, listen. My throat was hurting so bad. So I just drank warm water all day. And then once I broke my fast, I put like lemon juice in it or whatever. Did the same thing yesterday and I feel fine now. But I was like, who the fuck came in my house knowing they had a look? Probably one of the damn kids. But yeah, the only time I would take off besides like if I just so happen to be sick, because I think I did have the vid one time, so I did have to take off for that. But aside from that, I never really got sick. But I would take off every February just because that's when it snows the worst here, and after getting into an accident in the mountains in what was damn near a blizzard, I just don't do snow. Just too much PSTD. What? PTSD for me. That's how I know I'm sleepy because girl, what? Anyway. But yeah, so well, probably gonna miss it because yep, my mouse sucks. You know what? Now I think I know what the issue is. Oh, is that my other mouse? No, it is this one. Like, trying to put that order in the right place is just insane. Hold on, I know what the problem is. I gotta put more weights in it. I was gonna try to get that trade in right before I had to stop for news. Let me see if I put more, because I have my mouse sensitivity on the highest it can be. I don't think that's the problem. I think that the damn... Uh-oh. So this mouse came with like weights. And I don't know. So you could put them in the bottom of it. So like I knew I wanted to get into that trade. I'll show you guys exactly why in a second. Let me install this real quick. Why is Financial Juice playing with me? I'm like, why do I hear Donald Trump talking? They must have used some kind of AI or something to use his voice as an advertisement. Why do you do that? Anyway, all right, with me, I might end up having to go back to my other mouse. I have a wireless mouse. I might have to go back to. I'm gonna decrease the cursors. No. Like, I hate when I'm missing trades because I'm trying to put the goddamn order in and then I'm just. All right, so I don't remember what the trade. Oh, here. So I basically was gonna get into this trade because this was an absorption pattern. We pushed down 28 points compared to 30.5, but there was more volume this time. So that's an absorption pattern. Point of control is in the wick. Delta dominant. That's all I wanted. It's exactly what I wanted. But I couldn't get the order in. And I would have gotten filled because I saw it come back to it. I don't know if I like this weight, actually. I feel like the damn thing's too heavy. Mouse. I don't know what I want. Maybe the problem is the weights that's in it. Yeah, let's try taking them out. Let's just try taking them all out. All right, I'm clear to trade again. Good morning, Goat. How are you this morning? Good morning, good morning. Time off in a minute. What's my calendar? Start adding days. And lemon if you aren't allergic. So I did lemon juice, Amelia. The only reason I didn't do honey was just because well, I guess I could have, because once I broke my fast, that's when I went ahead and started putting the lemon juice in there. I could have put the honey in there. I take a spoonful of honey every day because I take black seed oil, and black seed oil is the most disgusting thing known to man. So in order for me to take it, I have to use honey. So I always take a spoonful of honey every day anyway. But my throat feels way better now, thank goodness, because yeah. I was definitely gonna be pretty pissed. If I got sick for real. Cause why me? Why me? Fire mouse on my the wireless was acting funny. We didn't scare you away. No, you didn't scare Goat away. Yeah, this is a wired mouse. This is a child, some type of gaming mouse. EVEA, I think. Maybe. I don't know. Oh, you're not gonna be able to see that. Yeah. Something like that. But I like it. It's like very weird looking. But I have another mouse that's a wireless one that I love too. I haven't used it in a long time, but this one's a Corsair. So I like this one because I'm bougie and it has like a pinky wrist and a thumb wrist. It's a little bougie, but I haven't used it in a while. I really love that one. I might end up going back to that one. All right, so we're clear to trade. I'm not going to trade counter trend divergence, only trend divergence and then all of the pullbacks. All right, we're near yesterday's close. Why do I still feel like, oh, that's because, I don't know, whatever. I'm not gonna ask any questions. I don't like the way this mouse feels. I don't know what it is. All right, I guess it's just gonna have to do. Gaming mouse? Yeah, they're both gaming mice. Sure, that's personal with Michael. He said he made 400. What? Why is he treating his personal account like he's trading a prop account? Prop firms have, I can't even say turned a lot of people into gamblers. I just feel like it's brought out the addictive personalities that people probably already had. Cause of what? That's insane. Did you guys see I saw people talking, I think it was Iman, or I think he calls himself I-Man Trading, but everybody else says Iman, I think. But either way, he exposed the guy Dual Exchange. And it's funny, I've seen, who the hell is that? He has more subscribers, more followers than most people in this space. I knew who he was because you know, I've been in the trading space for a long time. And I knew he was mainly in Forex and he moved over to futures not too long ago. And there's a guy who I watch as well who puts out videos. Well, he's kind of sporadic now, but he used to put out videos like once a week. But he was like in the guy's group learning from him or whatever, one of his students. But anyway, basically he got exposed for showing a demo account, I guess, or something. I don't know. He was... The thing was, in the video, he's like, yeah, I want to show you guys, like, this is a live account, no cap, da 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 da. but then he didn't edit the video properly, so the little half a second between showing one screen and going to the next, the account turned from being a live account to a demo account, basically. Like, Lord, why? Why? Um, and then I guess people in his group had brought it up, brought up the fact that he was exposed, and he's like, I don't know what people are talking about. I'm just worried about winning or something. Like, didn't even really actually address it, which I think is just insane. Like, just admit your fuck up and keep it moving, because all these people paying you to be in your group are not gonna cancel just because of that. They're not. Well, Amelia, if I'm not mistaken though, he now, I don't know what he does now, but I know for a long time he actually was trading live with his group. Like, I know that for a fact. So, regardless of what, you know, the video was saying, I guess, it's like he traded live with his group all the time. Now, you do have some people that are like, oh, yeah, he traded live, but like one guy was saying, he says that he does a 1-to-1, but how come his winners are so much more than his losers and stuff like that? Well, first of all, a lot of people who teach, and this is why I always say, like, I don't care how successful I become, how great of a strategy I build. I don't know if I'd ever be willing to like teach people like, oh my Jesus. That was such a late trade. I could really re-enter it. Oh no, I think it's gone now. I got into it so late and I did not know I was in that late. Now, this is the thing. I could have stayed, well, I didn't want to stay in it because it was so far down. Like, what the hell? Let's see, 2, 4. I was like 6 ticks late. Now, when it came up and created this 1 bar pullback, I could have put the entry back in there because I wouldn't have gotten stopped out on the trade. This would have been a full win. Since I don't trail the close of a reversal bar now, I just still give it the room that it would have initially got on the original trade. But I don't know why the hell that just slammed down like that. One of the dangers of having to wait for the order flow to confirm itself. He said, yeah, Applejacks, leave me alone. Yeah, he has like a Discord. He has a course. He basically trades supply and demand. He teaches them how to trade supply and demand a certain way. But yeah, basically he made a video talking about his live account. And when he switched screens inside of Tradeovate, there was like a little half a second, literally a half a second, where he did not cut it correctly. So when you look in the top right corner, you see demo account. Even though he did end up switching to a live account. So I don't know. But yeah, he's been in the industry for a while. He's been interviewed on several platforms before. I've watched a couple of his videos. I don't trade supply demand, so it's like, kind of whatever to me, but yeah, he has a lot of people who vouch for him because they are profitable with his strategies. So it's like, at the end of the day, regardless, he has students who are successful, and that just is what it is. Let's see if I can get into the buy right there. That was a liquidity sweep down. I don't have that rule completely done correctly yet, I don't think, but we're gonna try and go for it. But yeah, a lot of people like his strategy. Like I said, one of the guys that I watch on YouTube, I'm subscribed to, he uses his strategy. He loves it. All right, finally got into a trade I'm trying to get into. So this buy right here, I said I wasn't taking counter trend divergence, right? However, I'm cool with it as long as it's an absorption or a liquidity run type of pattern. This one was a liquidity run. So if you look, the swing up and then the swing down, there was more ticks in the swing down than the swing up, right? However, if you look at the volume, there's only 197 coming down, but there's 379 going up. So this was a liquidity sweep coming down because you got more ticks with less effort. So the only thing I cared about really was based on the volume pattern of the bars. I just wanted the point of control to be in the wick of the candle and for the delta to be dominant. And if I can get this god dang mouse to do what I want it to do, I'll show you the inside of the bar. So that's what the inside looks like. So you see point of control. Point of control is the gold box. Point of control is in the wick down there. Delta is dominant because the number on top of the bar is green. And that's all I was looking for. Now let's move this back because I need it. But if it's free like that trader streamer I watch, then I don't care. Yeah, they pay for a service, but like I said, I know for a while he actually used to trade live with his group. I don't know if he still does it, but I know he used to because even so with a guy that I still watch to this day, I don't think he's put that in any of his videos recently, so I don't know if he's still in the group or not. But I know like back when I first started watching him, he would literally have Doyle up on the screen trading live while he and the rest of the group was trading live as well. So yeah, regardless of what the video says, there are people that can vouch for him trading live, regardless of what that video was. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know, Chad. I missed this sell right here. I could have taken that one. This trade would have been good coming down, but the delta was way too dominant. It's like 53%. So what that means is like the ending delta on the bar was more than half of what the volume is. So the delta percentage. And typically if it's over 30%, it's not good. Except for one particular pattern, it's okay. But for the most part, you want to pretty much stay away from it. Just because it's basically showing you that it wasn't a two-way battle in a transition bar, which is kind of what you want. So, and I was right to not take it because it would have been a loss. Who thinks it's crazy to analyze someone's video that closely? Applejacks, I think so too. However, because there's so many like people who get over on people in this industry, I get it to a certain extent. I do get it. But sometimes I'm just like, I don't know. I think it's weird when you spend, because he's not the only one who does it. I think it's weird when people spend the majority of their time trying to expose people. Like, and that's it. Like, that's legit the only reason why people are watching you. Like, is for you to be a drama type of channel. Which, I mean, I guess if that's what you want to do, that's fine. But then you kind of screw yourself if you ever want to transition into, like, people watching you because of who you are and, you know, like your own trading and stuff like that, because it's basically like, well, I didn't come here for that. I'm not trying to learn from you. I don't care about your ideas with trading. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here for drama. So it's like, if you don't post about drama, how much engagement would you get, you know? Like I get posting about, like I've posted about certain things here and there, like when Danny was being racist, absolutely I'm going to post about certain things like that. And I wouldn't even mind posting like certain prop firm type of updates, but I would never want to build my community based off drama, because I'm not going to keep up with the drama to be able to report on it all the time. I got shit to do. And I don't want people here for that. It's like, I was going to start making shorts, right? But I really don't want to, because I don't want to build a community of people who subscribe to me because they see these 30 to 60-second videos, because the majority of my videos are going to be lives or, you know, short form content, like little 10-minute videos or something like that. And sometimes you can screw yourself because you're building that community with something that you don't want to sustain like long term. So you can really hold yourself. Right, that would close right on. I'm still kind of upset with how this mouse is feeling. I'm gonna put these back in here. Oh, can we get away from the entry button? Good morning, Janelle. Good morning, Paul. How are you guys this morning? Oh my God, Amelia, I saw that. Like, first of all, the nerve of you. The absolute nerve of you, because, listen, the way I see it, all you did was have people who like your prop firm go to see what this prop firm is all about. Because when you are the big dog and you a heavyweight, you're not worried about nobody. You don't need to make no comparison, because people already know that you cannot be compared to. You know what I mean? So it's like, all you've done to me is show how much you feel like you're in trouble. Because why did you choose that company of all companies to choose? Like, do you see them as a threat? Because if you didn't see them as a threat, you wouldn't have used them as an example. All the prop firms out here, and you use them as an example. Why? And then you chose a company that seemingly, at least on the outside, from the outside looking in, looks like a pretty decent company. Why would you go highlight that company like that? I don't understand. Thank you, Janelle. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I saw that. Where they like talked about what they said and how it was wrong and stuff like, yeah. But you know what? When people do shit like that to you, hell yeah, troll they ass. Troll them back. Because why is you talking about me? Keep your eyes on your own paper and worry about your own food. Top step, and it's just my thing. Because of 1, 2, 3. Exactly. Like, okay. I've never really been a huge fan of Top Step to begin with anyway. Mainly because, and I feel this way about every company that does live streams now, it's such a huge conflict of interest. You sell prop firm accounts and you have people trading live for your, like, in front of people who are customers of your company. You know what most people in this space are going to do, especially if they're not profitable. They're going to be wanting to find people to follow and, you know, follow their trades and stuff. So I just feel like it's a huge conflict of interest. And then on top of that, I feel like it's very selfish of these companies to do that, knowing that you're taking viewership from the affiliates who help to build your company. So I think all of them are weird for it. Every single one of them. I don't give a damn what company it is. They're weird for it. But then once they got rid of everything except Project X, that was it for me. You have to be one greedy bastard to do that. You just are. And it's okay. But you're greedy. And you don't deserve my business. And I can't trade with anything except Ninja Trader anyway. So that's that. Well, you don't plan on having a community for a long time? No, go. I do. Applejacks don't lie. No, I do plan to have a community for a long time. However, I don't think I would ever want to teach, like have a course. If I was to ever have a course, number one, like I'm all for things being accessible. However, I also know that the more easily accessible something is, the more exposure you have to people. And y'all have to understand, one of the reasons why I've wanted to master day trading is so I don't have to deal with people anymore. Okay, let's start there. Having careers where it's all about helping people, serving others, eventually you get tired of it, especially because I'm an introvert for the most part, unless I'm around people that I know and, you know, that I'm cool with, that I like to have fun with. I'm primarily an introvert. So I don't want to have to be exposed to people that I don't have to be exposed to, if that makes sense. Like if there are certain people who want to learn what I'm doing, I wouldn't mind like small cohorts of people maybe or something. I don't know. But the way that some people do things, and I know it could be good money in it, especially if you're profitable, and you really have things that you can teach people, especially what they may not learn from others. I should have been in this freaking buy. However, like I just, at my big age, I've done all of that in my younger years. That's the other thing. I've done all of that already. I've been a public speaker. I've done speaking engagements. I've run events. I was a director of financial education in a now $1 billion company. I helped start that $1 billion company. I've had teams of over 1,000 people. Like I've done all of that already. And so in my big old age, I don't want to do that shit again. I don't. I just don't. Frustrated with my system, costing me money. Paul, I can't listen to Jesse for long. I don't think it's him. I just think like I just get tired of drama channels. I'm not gonna lie. I was going back to something you said. I got you. Yeah, people suck. Like they just do. People are ungrateful. No matter how much you tell people this is not something that's easy to learn, easy to understand. Like if I was to ever put a course out or have like, you know, cohorts of people that I'm teaching, I'm only doing it because I don't want people to have to go through the same. Look at that huge order came in, and look at that push. I wouldn't want people to have to go through the same shit that I had to go through. Like I would genuinely be doing it to help people to bypass the hard part of trading, right? However, you're still going to have people that's going to skip through, you know, blame you. You can have the craziest track record with your strategy and everything, right? And they're still going to blame you when they don't do what they're supposed to do on their end. And I will punch people for that. Don't like all the time and energy and effort that I put into this, and then you're going to do that. Don't do that to me. So I would have to be like super selective in it. By the time you do all that, it's like, you know what, fuck it. Like I've already said, there's certain educational videos that I'm definitely going to put out onto YouTube. It's just like the process of teaching yourself patterns based off of what you see. And then when you finally start to understand the behavior that's going on in the background, that's printing the patterns that you see, and having to unlearn and relearn things at the same time, it takes time, right? So I'm in that process right now, but eventually I'm gonna put educational videos out. Like There's somebody on Discord. Oh my God, I think I forgot to respond to that person. They just said thank you. But either way, someone asked me on Discord a couple of weeks ago, like, hey, I saw that you had that new oscillator at the bottom of your screen. Can you tell me how you use it? Da da da. So I explained to them that like the volume that shows on the swings are calculated a certain way, but this oscillator was an indicator that came in the package with the zigzag. And the reason why it's separated is because this one calculates a little bit differently. So I was in the process of trying to figure out, okay, with the volume of the swings, which one is more accurate? The one that calculates the way it does on the zigzag or the oscillator? So I was explaining that, but I also was going through explaining like how I'm using volume and wrinkles to show spots of liquidity grabs, spots of absorption patterns, and stuff like that. Effort versus result. That's all it is, right? But sometimes, not sometimes, it's way easier to see absorption patterns and liquidity runs on wrinkles. It just is, because a lot of indicators for like calculating swings, when you put them on time-based charts, they repaint a lot of times. And one thing that I noticed when I used to use them or attempt to use them back in the day was most of them have like certain settings to where by the time that indicator confirms that that is this like an actual swing, you're already too far into the swing to get it, like you're late, right? Whereas on Rinkos, you're never late. Well, depending on how you trade the Rinkos, right? So I can see the absorption patterns happening in real time. I can see the liquidity runs in real time. Like this right here was a liquidity sweep. This was a deeper pullback for the trend divergence, but there's less volume than the previous push down. That low effort, high result liquidity sweep. And the buy worked. But yeah, I was explaining that, and I'm a really good teacher. Like I'm really good with taking the most like complicated things and putting it into the most basic form and teaching people that way. So I'm going to put information out like that, but I don't know if I would ever do a course. I just don't. And I told y'all like last year, or maybe when I first started, I used to have a course that helped people to learn how to budget their money, and help them to eliminate debt quickly and save money at the same time and things like that. I had a girl literally go through my entire course. Now, mind you, things on the back end of course software is so sophisticated. You get the IP address of when they log in, they log into the course. You get the IP address of the credit card that they used. The IP address when they use the credit card to purchase the course. I can also see the progress that the person made. The girl went through the entire course, left a comment on several lessons in the course, and then charged back saying that she didn't purchase that. What the fuck, bitch? Listen, I sent that shit in to my merchant so fast. I said, here are the screenshots. Here are the comments that she made. Here's the IP address used in the comments that she made. Here's the IP address used when she purchased the course. Here's the IP address of every single login that she did. Here also is showing that she downloaded all of the different PDFs in each lesson. Give me my fucking money and stop playing with me. I got my money back so fast. Don't fucking play with me. If you had issues with money, whatever, I would have given you your goddamn money back. You didn't have to do that. People like that piss me the fuck off. Like, don't do that. What I know now, I want to take people with me, friends, family, but I think it's something God said for me. Absolutely, GOAT. Absolutely. And I have a couple of friends that want to learn, and I've always told them like, yo, let me get this as simplified as I can with only the things that you need. Like I've tried hundreds of indicators, trying to figure out what's needed, what's not. I'm at the most basic form of my strategy is so much easier now. And I told them, let me be profitable for a certain period of time, because then I know, like, don't get me wrong. I'm pretty sure once I'm in the final form of my strategy, I'm good. Y'all got to understand, I've been looking at the same shit for 2 years trying to figure out how do I quantify what I see. I've done volume only, volume with order flow only with no volume, it back being combined, bid ask up down, going back and forth, delta dominance. It don't matter. It do matter. I've been all over the place. But I wanted to make sure that I quantify things properly so that if I ever do want to teach my friends and family, I can. But everybody can't go with you. They can't. Trading simple, but the hardest shit ever. Exactly. To know a truck driver, he owned his truck, made like 15K in a week. Yeah, my best friend who's a truck driver, he makes a lot of money. But he also spends a lot of money on his truck too. You got hit by lightning in one? Oh my God. ChatGPT, like, what's an absorbing order? Listen, ChatGPT, when you use it correctly, oh my goodness, yes. Like, so one of the things I realized maybe 2 days ago was that ChatGPT wasn't understanding okay, I have different chats with ChatGPT, but it wasn't completely understanding how my reversal bars paint. So once I broke down, like, hey, in order for a reversal bar to paint, price can only come 1 or 2 ticks beyond the close of the previous bar, and then it has to reverse up 48 ticks from the extreme. So the wick is first, and it's an equal bar. So the wick is 24 ticks, then it has to go up another 24 ticks to paint the body, and boom, you have a reversal bar. Well, that's because mean wrinkles are different from traditional wrinkles, and there's some other wrinkles that are out there as well. But once I explained that, it started to fix some of the, like, because anytime ChatGPT contradicts itself, I'll be like, I talk to it like a real person. You finna piss me off because why you just said XYZ. But also recently it started like just spitting out all of this like I'm talking information, and I eventually was like, where was all of this before? Why are you doing this now? Don't piss me off. And it basically told me that I have clearly shifted my strategy from trading patterns to trading behaviors behind the patterns. And because of certain conversations that we've had inside of the thread over time, like especially over the last like 2 weeks, that it now has more information to be able to tell me more about the behavior patterns that I'm seeing on the back end. Like, bitch, you could have just told me this shit before. Why did we have to go through all of this, right? But it was explaining how, what does it mean when the point of control is in the wick, when it's in the body, and like certain things that I've noticed in regards to the volume patterns down here. Like if the volume is a really high volume bar, like this one, for instance, you see all of the volume bars on the swing up are nowhere close to this volume bar on the push down, right? When the point of control is in the wick and it does that, it's not good. Because if the point of control is in the wick, that means that it's an early rejection of price. So this means that when price pushed up, we rejected price very early. So if that's true, why did we have such a battle in this bar? This bar should have a low volume, not high volume. If it's high volume in a bar, that means that you've had a crazy battle back and forth for a while inside the bar before it closed, right? So that means that price didn't accept or reject early, it did it late, which means that the point of control has to be in the body. That's something that I just realized a couple days ago. And then when I went back into my analysis sheet, That's pretty much the pattern on almost every single setup. But I wasn't, I saw it happening, but I didn't understand why it was happening. And now I understand why it's happening. So it's like when you start to learn the back end things, especially with absorption patterns, liquidity patterns, what does the market look like when it's not either one of those patterns? It's just normal. What should you be looking for? It's taken a long time, but now I get it. I get it. Apple Jacks, you are not go got too many O's. Not oh you. Hold on. Why did it scroll so far? Wait. In the form of smoothie bowls and cat. Lord. A long time ago. But apparently I didn't because I should have found trading a long time ago. How long have you been trading? Did you say? I did use Heikin-Ashi candles. When I used to trade time-based charts, I did use Heikin-Ashi candles. I basically would have a Heikin-Ashi candle up as with the same time frame though. So it wasn't like because I know some people use Heikin-Ashi on like a higher time frame and then they'll use a regular candlestick chart to enter. No, I use the same time frame because I just want to know if we're still in the trend or not, or if we're pulling back and stuff like that. But yeah, I loved Heikin-Ashi. I will say that when I first started using Heikin-Ashi, I was so pissed because every time I would enter a trade, I'm like, why the hell is my order all the way up there? I entered a market order. I don't understand. I told my best friend, I was like, this broker is hoeing me. And then I realized, I'm like, oh, I looked it up. I'm like, oh, that's how they paint. Got it. But yeah, I like Heikin-Ashi candles. Girl, yes, Chanel. I argue with ChatGPT. I don't care, and it'd be like, "It's okay. You're not crazy. Calm down. This is my fault. I know it's your fault. Cause who else fault would it be?" 6 over. I'm staying away from you. It's coming. It would. It's fire 30K employees to replace them with AI. So in other words, you're witnessing a fake reversal. Good morning, Cloth. How are you this morning? Good morning. Good morning. But yeah, goat. So that's been like my biggest hurdle is figuring out when do these pullbacks work, when do they not? Because sometimes things can look the exact same and they act completely different. And so before I discovered order flow, I really wasn't understanding because you can't see the internals, right? So when I first started with order flow, I used this indicator called I think it's called TC Profiler, maybe. TC Bar Profiler. Let me go to my what the hell? Motherfuck. Okay, well, TC Bar Profiler was a order flow indicator where you could not see inside the bar. Well, you could see the profile, you could see where the point of control was, but you couldn't see like all the numbers and stuff like that. Because I was like, look, every time I've ever looked at footprint charts, it looks like information overload. My brain, I'm already super analytical. That's not going to work for me. So I don't want to see inside the bar. Just show me where the point of control is. That's it. So that's how I started at first. Then eventually I realized, oh shit, I need to see inside the bar. You got to know, like, what is the point of control? Is it a trap? Is it a trap or is it a continuation? Is it in the wick? Is it in the body? A wick trap is different from a body trap. A wick continuation is different from a body continuation. Like all those things, right? But then, so I started off with Ninja's order flow indicator, which is a great indicator. I will never take anything away from that indicator. That indicator works just fine. However, I did the 7-day free trial for the Trade Devils one, and I was like, because I actually saw the Trade Devils one first because I've had Trade Devils indicators before, and I've had Ninja indicators as well. But I was like, man, it's like $100 more. It's so much more information. Again, my brain information overload. I don't need all them settings. Give me the basics. Just for me to eventually, like a year later, purchase this one, and I needed to see some of those internal things. Like seeing how dominant the delta is, not just what the delta is, seeing the delta percentage, because delta percentage can show you when the bar is moving way too fast. Like you can't, it's a liquidity run that's you shouldn't be trading. And so I've gone through just different things. I've tried a lot, like to the point where I can be in a Discord group, and if somebody's looking for a specific indicator, I probably know exactly where you can find it because I've tried literally hundreds of indicators over the course of my trading career. I have, because there's just so much out there. But yeah, once I started to realize like that I'm noticing certain things, I was like, you know what? Let me try to use ChatGPT and see if it can help me with certain things, and it did. And I ain't no shame for ChatGPT to reply like that. Is even crazier. It does. Please do. Oh no, I don't talk to ChatGPT like that. Especially not if it pisses me off. You're gonna get this work, and you're gonna understand exactly what you did to me, so you don't do it again. Like I'm finna show y'all one of the things I did last night. I'm pretty sure my ChatGPT probably thinks I'm halfway a psycho, but it's okay. If it'll load. I need to start a new chat because there's so much in this chat right here. It takes a minute to load. I be cussing at it and like I talk to it like it's my friend. Come on and load up. Jeez Louise. Wait, that's not. Y'all are going to think I am so crazy. All right, hold on. Let me switch it. And then I'm going to show you guys the trade, show you guys the accounts, whatever, and then we'll get out of here. All right, look at this. Hold on. Hold on. This dumbass mouse. Come on. Look, I told y'all I'll be cussing at it, okay? If the damn thing, what is... Oh, here we go. Hold on. That's not the message I'm looking for. Oh, look. Now you're saying the ideal point of control is body aligned. Don't piss me off. That's so irritating. You are the main reason I've been confused for well over a year because of your flip-flopping shit. What is wrong with me? Ay, ay, ay. Yeah. Keep on asking things I already told it about it. I swear. I will say if you guys do anything like trading related with ChatGPT, eventually once you get something that you really like, tell it to make you a strategy constitution or like a trading constitution. Tell it to go through all of the information in the thread and put everything together into a strategy constitution for you, and it'll do pretty well with it. Not you almost called it. Be careful, we've all seen the Terminator series. Wait, Applejacks, you've never seen Terminator? Well, you know what? I don't think we could take her black card away for us. It's not technically a black movie. I told y'all. Good morning, Amelie. I told y'all. I be talking to it like it. Like, don't piss me off. I told it one time, you finna piss me the fuck off. You irritating the fuck out. You're like, calm down. You're not crazy. I know I'm not. You are. You're trying to make me crazy. I just, like last night, I literally gave it a trade example where like up down tick said one thing. I think up down tick was showing it was like a trap in the wick. The point of control was a trap in the wick. Bid ask was showing it was in the wick, but it was a continuation. So I think it was a buy. So the sellers were in control of the point of control on up down tick, but buyers were in control on bid ask. I gave it everything, volume of the swings, order flow in the entry bar, whatever. It goes through and breaks down because I wanted it to tell me like which of the settings best explained why this trade worked. And so I'm looking through and it gives me step by step, like breaking the whole trade down or whatever. And it gets to bid ask and it's like, oh yeah, this worked out because the point of control was in a body and it was a continuation. And this is a strong like confirmation. I said, what the I didn't tell you the point. I literally just told you where the point of control is. Why would you make up on your own where the point I never told you that. I was so mad. uh, uh-oh. Not the lurk fee. The governor is Paul. And I'm always there. Now, Applejacks, you so rude. Girl, you are so rude to me. You just started. We need to milk the market because AI takes over, period. All right, let me show you guys the trades first, and then I'll show you guys the accounts. Let me pull up the trade performance because I'm pretty sure I told my grandma to make this appointment for 10:30 or 11 o'clock, so I gotta go. Okay, do. All right, so first trade looks like it. So I took 3 trades, won and broke even on 2. Yeah, I remember now. All right, so 847 is the first trade. All right, so with this particular trade, I got out of this trade because if you look, what's the other 2 trades? All right, if you look at the order flow, and I know the numbers are probably small on your chart or on your screen, the number on the bottom of the bar that has the percentage is 47.8%. This means that the delta of the bar at the close of the bar is 47.8% of the volume of the bar. That's way too high. Typically I want to see it under 25%, but I can push it to 29%. Once it's 30% and above, I'm not interested. So I liked the trade initially, but once I saw that the delta percentage was that high, I got out of the trade, and I'm glad I did because I'm pretty sure that would have been a loss. Let me see, 75. Actually, it would have been a break even. So I would have been good either way on that one. So then coming around, and I miss trades as well. All right, so coming around to this trade here. Oh, this was the one that I got out of because I realized that I got into the trade late into the bar. Now, even though this bar reversed back up before my auto break even would have hit, it didn't matter because my stop loss is like 7 ticks beyond the open of the entry bar. So my stop loss was about like right in front of VWAP, and you see we didn't come up there. So I tried to actually put the order back in once I saw the 1 bar pullback close up there. But I was just too late. It pushed back down. But if I would have stayed in there, that would have been a full win. And then the trade that I actually did get into and stay in was this counter trend divergence, which I just played the liquidity sweep there. Got in. Point of control was in a wick. It was a continuation, if it'll show. Yeah. In the wick, continuation. Delta percentage at the bottom of the bar is blue, which lets me know that it's not too dominant, but the actual delta was dominant. We pushed off of this higher low over here. Also, there was VWAP. Also, there was the middle pivot level. So there was a lot of support there to support the liquidity sweep, ending. And I got into it and I won. So looking at the accounts, start making shit up because sometimes I feel it too. That's when I close. Yeah, you got to tell it to do that. The delta percentage is high. Is that good for a continuation trade or reversal trade? Typically it's not good at all. Sometimes it can be good if it's I'll show you because I think I didn't take one today. But if it's like a deep pullback like this, if it's a deep pullback like this, the point of control is in the body of the candle like this one is. And I'm pretty sure the volume has to look like this down here. I'm quite sure this is the correct pattern. If the delta percentage was really high, I would get into it, no problem. But most of the time, I just don't want to see it at all. Don't want to see it because this is the thought process. A reversal bar is a transition bar, right? We're ending one minor. So the way I see it, every swing is its own auction. You have the macro auction, obviously, but I don't care about what the market is doing on a big scale. I only care about what I can see because I'm trading from a micro standpoint because I'm scalping, right? So when a reversal bar paints, it's ending the previous auction and it's starting the new one, right? So a typical transition bar should have, kind of a battle between the buyers and sellers because we're ending the uptrend to try to start a new downtrend. And remember, I don't really care how far the move goes. As long as it goes to my TP, I don't care what it does after that. But I just want to make sure that whatever happens in the internal structure of this battle, this transition bar, I want to make sure that the internals show me that there's a high chance of price continuing after this reversal bar for at least that, the amount that I'm looking for. So one of the other reasons why I'm doing a 31 tick take profit is because the transition bar is 48 ticks. So realistically speaking, if it's a good transition bar, we should be able to at least push the number of ticks of the transition bar. So if I was on a 20 tick chart, it would be a 40 tick reversal bar. And I would hope that price can at least move 40 ticks, right? Because we've already done the first 40 ticks of transition. So, because of it being a battle bar, the delta should never be so high that it takes up that much of the total volume. So when delta is 50% of the total volume, so let's say we're looking at this bearish reversal bar, right? That means that the sellers pushed too quickly because it wasn't enough of a battle to reduce the percentage, basically. And so the delta is taking up too much of the total volume. So like I said, it works sometimes, but the majority of the time you don't want to see that. You want that percentage to be less than 30%, at least for the Rincos, I know. The default for the indicator is 25%, but I've noticed that I can go up to 30 with no issue. There's other things that I've noticed, like for the actual delta. So if you look at the top of the bar, the white number is the volume, right? The middle number is the white number is volume. The number underneath that is the max delta. So how high did the delta get while the bar was forming? The next number that has the delta symbol next to it is the actual delta of the bar. And then the number under that is the minimum delta. So how low did the delta number get while it was in the bar? That's also kind of important because sometimes what you'll see is like Let's say on this bearish reversal bar, you'll see that the max delta, let's say, was 60. Let's say it was 60 instead of 6. But you see the minimum delta was 58. Well, we're going down, right? This is a bearish reversal bar. So you typically don't want to see that the highest number that the delta got to was higher than the lowest number that the delta got to. Because then that's letting you know that buyers were initially like hella in control of this bar and sellers just kind of quickly took over at the end. It works sometimes, but not very often. Typically, the only time that works out is if it's a very high volume bar, basically, because then it's showing that the sellers just absorb the buyers, basically. You're welcome. So yeah, Trade Devils has a lot of settings that a lot of other order flow indicators do not have, and they're very helpful. I also think honestly that there's the signals that they have on this indicator, they work so well for time-based charts, and I would say even range-based charts. They just don't work well for Rinkos because the way that Rinkos paints, you're gonna get a bunch of like zero prints, delta sweeps, absorption. There's just like so many signals that will happen on Rinkos that it's not consistent. But when I used it on a time-based chart, like for a couple of days, just to kind of see how it worked pretty well. I just don't like time-based charts. Footprint on my trade-in last week. Just checking how footprint really helps in my locations. Yeah, you study footprint in the past but was never consistent. Get consistent with it, because I promise you, once you learn how it works for how you're trading, it'll help you so much. I think even Janelle eventually incorporated order flow, if I'm not mistaken. If you've never watched Umar Ashraf's videos on order flow, he's the one who owns TradeZella. Watch some of his videos, especially since you trade time-based charts. He has really good videos with that. And when you combine order flow with you trading volume profile and you start learning how to spot the absorption patterns and the liquidity sweeps and stuff like that, oh my goodness, you will open yourself up to a whole nother realm. Because, you know, you will watch people who will be like, oh my God, why is the market doing XYZ? Or why aren't we pushing through whatever? Or why aren't we? And it's like, well, you can't see anything. And it's no problem if you can't see anything. But some of the questions that you're asking, if you would just try to incorporate something other than just looking at candles with, you know, some lines on the chart that you drew, or even VWAP and stuff, like I was taking a sell right here at a lower VWAP level. That's like such a no-no. Why are you selling as a part? Well, because order flow showed me that we were going to move down. I don't really care how far we moved down, but we were going to move down enough for me to trade it. And you see, we did. That was a win. Now we eventually double bottom and pushed up, but I don't really give a damn about that. Did it go to my TP or not? Yeah, it did. Certain patterns, I know when I see them, I know that price is going to move far. Like this trade right here, this buy, I can look at the internal structure of this and know that price is going to move far. I just wasn't trading counter trend divergence today unless it was absorption or liquidity runs. I'm trying to trade devils this week. Might even ask them. You should. And they will typically let you do it too. I'm trading since execution is the one screwing me over, since I don't wait for confirmation, so you get ran through a lot. Yeah. And maybe you don't necessarily have to wait for confirmation if you incorporate order flow, especially on the time-based charts. I think you shared a link. Yeah, I did. He is a multi-million-dollar trader. And his videos about order flow is why I was like, ooh, I kind of want to incorporate that, because he does a really good job of explaining. Hold on one second. Granny, good morning. What time is your appointment again? 11? 3? Girl, that mean I could take a nizap. Okay. And where is it again? Okay, perfect, girl. Okay. I thought I was Okay, thank you. That's fine. Because I'm going to take me a nap, girl. I have all the energy in the world to take you wherever you need to go, honey, okay? Okay, that's fine. Okay, bye. Why did I say bye like I'm on the phone with her? The hell? And I probably ain't going to go to sleep because my friend wants to... he's off today. He just had his baby a month ago, and so he ain't been able to play the game like that. He's off work today, so I probably ain't going to get no goddamn sleep. But anyway, I'll show you the good videos to watch. But he does a really good job of explaining like what he's looking for when price hits certain levels. And he's basically looking for absorption and stuff like that. And a lot of these videos I've watched multiple times. Let's see. So I would start out. All right, I didn't go that far. I would start out with, where is it? This one. The stop trading candlestick charts do this instead. That's number one. Then you can even look at the secret to telling where a trade will go next, step by step. They're kind of like the same video, but he breaks it down a little bit different. And just like the repetition of hearing what he's saying, seeing what he's saying, because he uses different trade examples in those videos. And then if you watch any of his videos where he's, you know, how I made 93,000, I made 21,000, all of those videos, he's actually breaking down his trades that he actually took. He's showing you the levels. He's showing you what he's looking for on the footprint charts. You can even, I would also look at the footprint summary table that he has, because every setting that he has in that summary table, you can get in the Trade Devils one. And then what was the other one? Those were the main ones. Yeah, look at those two, the candlestick ones, the don't trade candlesticks, and then this one. And then start with his videos that don't look like this. So all of the ones where he talks about how much profit he made in his videos, you know, the thumbnails look like this. Look at those. All right. But yeah, look at those. He's really good. Seriously. And you never know. You'll probably see that like you would be too late if you waited for confirmation, and it's probably one little small thing that you could look at on order flow to confirm that what you see is what you see and go from there. Now, I can tell you, will this show? I don't think it show. Oh, it will. So on this updated order flow chart or order flow indicator from Trade Devils, on the bar markers, the one I saw that, I think his name is Sam, maybe, I don't know, but one of the guys who works with Trade Devils, I think it's the POC momentum wave is something that's brand new. The bid ask fade. So these last four right here are all brand new. And he said that he really likes the POC momentum wave signal. But like I said, a lot of these signals I can't use on Rinkos because they always print. They literally always print. So it doesn't really mean as much for me. But even like the Delta rise, the Delta drop, stuff like that, they just have a lot in there. You are so welcome. You're so welcome. But yeah, all right, let me show you guys what the accounts are looking like as of today. Then I can go journal. I'm literally only journaling the trades that I took. I'm gonna keep my charts open and I'm gonna go take me a fat ass nap because I need it. And I'll just tell my friend if he wants to get on, he needs to call me because she's gonna be asleep. All right, I forgot that. All right, let me zoomy. All right, so top account is the Tradeify account. And so we got to $137 on that account today, and then 230 on the TPT account. And that's because that first trade that I broke even out of, I made $90 on it on the TPT account. Some way, somehow, I guess slippage worked in my favor. But either way, both accounts are now at full drawdown again. So remember, going into today, I think I was at like I was at 1920 on TPT and maybe like 1930 on Tradeify. So the balances are here. So I'm $1,600 in profit on Tradeify and $1,000 in profit on TPT. What I'm hoping after today is that tonight I have enough time, because I am taking my nap. That's most important. But tonight I have enough time and energy to go ahead and take the 220 something trade sample that I have from yesterday alone and put that into the analysis sheet. That should help me solidify my rules. My rules are pretty solidified for the pullbacks, to be honest with you. I just wasn't paying as much attention as I should have today, for real. I always do that when I take a day off. And also this mouse was just really driving me crazy. But I need to solidify the counter trend divergence. The trend divergence, I think, is what it is at this point. I think I've gotten it exactly how I want it to be. There's probably two more patterns that I probably could trade, but I have to see once I put the data in. It's so many examples from yesterday. I should have more than enough examples. And then hopefully tomorrow I have everything the way I wanted to, so I could take more trades, because I really want to try to get both of these accounts finished and completed by passing, not failing. I want to pass both of these accounts in the next probably week or so that I can start trading the PAs. I feel comfortable enough to trade one of my PAs, but at the same time, I'm like, you know what? I think the most confidence will come for me when I actually just go ahead and pass these two accounts. And then I'll be able to go from there, but we'll see. But that's it for me, you guys. I thank you guys for tuning into the stream. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Please like the video on your way out if you haven't already. Subscribe if you haven't already. But other than that, I will see you guys bright and early tomorrow morning at 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye, guys.